Jung Min and Jung In's unborn daughter becomes a symbol of strength and hope. When Jung Min stepped onto the small, dimly lit stage that afternoon, it wasn't as an actress promoting her next project or as a celebrity dazzling in designer wear. It was as a mother. A mother who had endured more in a few months than many do in a lifetime. She wore a plain white blouse that gently draped over her visibly pregnant belly. No makeup, no jewelry, no stylist, just raw, unfiltered truth written across her face. The cameras had already begun rolling when she approached the podium. There was no need for dramatic introduction. Everyone knew something big was about to unfold. But no one, not the press, not the fans, not even her most dedicated followers, could have anticipated the gravity of what she was about to share. With a shaky breath, Jung Min placed both hands protectively over her stomach and whispered the words that sent shockwaves through the entertainment world. I think you all deserve to know. And I think she deserves to be seen, not as a secret or a rumor, but as a person, as someone who's already been fighting harder than most people ever will. The room fell into stunned silence. She wasn't just announcing a pregnancy. She was unveiling the harrowing journey of her unborn daughter, a child who had faced unimaginable complications while still in the womb. From the moment Jung Min first heard her baby's heartbeat, she had wept. The sound had seemed like a promise of hope. But just 2 weeks later, that illusion shattered. A follow-up scan revealed severe complications: an erratic heart rate, restricted blood flow, possible oxygen loss, and a looming threat of brain underdevelopment. The doctors painted a grim picture. Her chances of survival were dangerously low. They told us we might have to make a decision, Jung Min said, her voice trembling. The kind no parent ever wants to make. But they made a different decision. Together with her husband, Jung In, Jung Min chose to fight. And so began what she would later call the longest, most painful, most terrifying months of her life. Every day was an anxious wait for medical updates. Every night was filled with whispered prayers and silent tears. Some days the baby moved very little, sending them into emergency rooms fearing the worst. Other days, even the smallest kick brought waves of relief and emotion. They named her early, in the 3rd month, calling her Haun, a name that means grace. We wanted her to have a name before the world ever saw her, Jung Min said, her voice breaking with love. A name that meant she was already here. Already loved. Jung In was by her side every step of the way. Not as a supportive celebrity, but as a father whose life was now intertwined with the tiny heartbeat growing inside his wife. He was the one who learned every medical term, stayed awake through hospital visits, and whispered, "One more day, my little fighter," every morning to his unborn daughter. By the 5th month, there were signs of improvement. The baby's heart stabilized slightly, and doctors began to use the words, cautious optimism. But celebrations were muted. We knew better than to hope too loudly, Jung Min said. Because everything could change in an instant. She recalled one particularly traumatic night. While strapped to a fetal monitor, the baby's heartbeat paused for 2 terrifying seconds. "I thought we lost her," she whispered. Time stopped. I couldn't even cry. But then the heartbeat came back. Slower. Then stronger. Then steady. It was the first time Jung Min realized her daughter was choosing to live. From then on, she began talking to her daughter as if she could hear her. She sang lullabies, told her stories, and described the world she would see if she made it. Jung In brought a recorder each day, playing fairy tales and poems he had read aloud for the baby. "She responds to his voice more than mine," Jung Min laughed through her tears. "Maybe she already knows she's got him wrapped around her tiny fingers." But despite signs of progress, the journey was far from over. The baby's growth remained behind schedule. The risk of preterm labor loomed. And yet, every little milestone became a miracle. Every ounce gained, every steady beat, every flinch on the ultrasound. There were moments of deep guilt. Jung Min confessed that she blamed herself for not slowing down earlier in her pregnancy, for missing early warning signs, for not being enough. But Jung In never let her linger in that self-doubt. "Every time I broke down, he would hold my face and say, 'You are more than enough for both of us.'" Her voice faltered as she added, "This wasn't how I imagined my first pregnancy. I imagined baby clothes, arguments over names, flower-filled maternity shoots. I didn't imagine wires, needles, and fear. But she's worth all of it." And then came the smile. The first full, real smile since she had walked onto that stage. "She already has a personality," she said. "When I laugh, she kicks. When Jung In talks to her, she rolls over like she's listening. When I cry, she goes still, like she's worried. She's already protecting me." The journalists present weren't just reporting a story. They had put down their pens. The photographers had stopped snapping. The room had turned into a sanctuary of emotion, of respect, of shared humanity. One reporter finally broke the silence with a simple question: "What do you want the world to know about your daughter?" Without hesitation, Jung Min replied, "That she's real. That she exists. That she's not a rumor, not a scandal, not a distraction. She is our daughter, and she is fighting to meet the world. I just hope the world is kind to her." There was no dramatic exit, no staged photo ops. Just a mother, a father, and their unborn child, already a symbol of courage and resilience. Outside the venue, fans gathered not to scream or clamor for autographs but to hold signs with handwritten messages of love and support. "Stay strong, Haun. You are already loved. Thank you, Jung Min and Jung In, for your honesty." And through the window of the van that carried them away, a little girl, not yet born, rested safely within the embrace of her mother's womb, unaware that she had already changed the world. This story isn't just about a pregnancy. It's about unwavering love, the strength found in vulnerability, and the hope that endures even in the darkest of times. Jung Min and Jung In didn't just reveal their truth. They gave a voice to every parent who has sat in fear, to every child whose fight begins before their first breath. And in doing so, they reminded the world that miracles aren't always loud. Sometimes, they come as a heartbeat in the silence.